Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video of Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Ashe supplementary guide, and today we're going to be taking a look at Crit Ashe. So you might be thinking, wait, what? Crit Ashe? Well, yeah. So you see this build I have right here. I actually copied it from one of the top few players. Now, unfortunately, this individual is no longer in the top 3. But I did copy this build from that guy, so I was like, wait a minute, Crit Ashe is not a thing anymore, right? Because Ashe normally goes on hit. You can see, like, it's all like on hit items at the beginning. This guy's actually going for 2 crit items at the beginning, so we might have to try that build out. But even you can see, this top player does have 2 crit items, 3 crit items at the very end. So maybe Crit Ashe is kind of coming back, right? So let's try this build for myself. Now I have to say I prefer on hit personally after trying both. However, I do still think this build does have its merits, so let's kind of go over it. So first up here, the Gluttonous Greaves with the AD and the Omnivamp. Then you start off with the Storm Razor. Now Storm Razor, of course, you mainly have it for that passive, the Storm Arrow passive, giving you the extra damage, as well as slowing down the enemy and speeding you up. Now remember that Ashe passive also slows them down. So when you have the Storm Razor passive combined with Ashe passive, the person's going to get slowed down a lot more, and you're going to be able to run them down, right? That's kind of where the build has legs, I feel. Then, of course, you're going to combo it with the Blaster. The Blaster, of course, gives you bonus range, as well as giving you better wave clear, and, you know, just a static shift passive in general to attack multiple enemies at the same time. Of course, core item on Ashe, Rune and Hurricane, allowing you to attack 3 people simultaneously and apply the slow onto 3 people simultaneously. And then you of course have your Mole Reminder, giving you the Armor Pen and the Grievous Wounds. And then last item you have IE. Now you could swap IE and Mole Reminder, but I think generally Mole Reminder earlier is better because by this time the enemy team will be pretty tanky, and you generally like to play Ashe into a tanky team, right? Because you can kite them out real well. So IE last item. So Rune's standard ADC loadout, you know, lethal tempo, attack speed and range, and then you have the standard loadout. I'm not going to talk too much about it, as I mentioned in my Twitch video as well yesterday. And then for the spells, you want to go for Flash together with Cleanse if they're CC. Ghost is amazing if they don't have CC. Otherwise, you can also try Barrier and Exhaust if you like those. But with all that said, let's take a look at the gameplay. Okay, so let's take a look at the gameplay itself. So generally, as I just now mentioned, I actually like to play Ashe against a team that I can kite. Now, this is not really the most kiteable team, but it kind of could be, right? So the champions I love to play Ashe against are champions like Darius and Set, for example. They have no mobility and they cannot really reach you. Now here, Sona is running straight into us, and Sona to some extent is kiteable as well, because she doesn't really have mobility either. But you can see here, we start Q level 1. We take a lot of damage here, but you can see the heal comes in from the Lux, and now Lucian's taking a lot of damage because he's run into our minions. Now we're making kind of the same mistake that he did, which is running into the minions as well. But it basically becomes a 1 HP game for everybody. Everybody is 1 HP, aside from maybe Lux, who is kind of 1 HP, but not as 1 HP as everybody else. So in the end, taking a look at the summoner spell situation, everybody used every summoner spell except for my cleanse, right? So basically, at level 1, everybody has expended everything. Now somehow Lucian decides not to back and actually clears the wave under tower before backing. Makes sense considering he needs those minions. He still has not backed. He's trying to get very greedy with it and push out the other lane. Now something very important to note here is that Lucian does not have press the attack, right? He's kind of inting by having phase rush. Now I don't think there's any universe where you want to go phase rush on Lucian instead of press the attack. Like, yeah, you do get that movement speed. You can proc it very, very easily with Lucian, but what's the point of the movement speed and the lower ability cooldowns when you can have the press the attack to deal 8% extra damage? Right? Now honestly, if he had that, he probably would have killed me at level 1. So that kind of just proves why you have to always go for press the attack on Lucian. So here you can see I'm just going to go onto Lucian, trying to dodge his Q there. He gets the double auto onto me. Now in the short trade, Lucian always wins, right? Because he has a lot of burst damage. But in the longer trades, I do have an advantage there because I have more DPS in the long run compared to Lucian. Lucian, of course, wants to play around the short trades, which is exactly what he's doing. But if we get into a longer fight, I am advantaged. So in general, Lux has a decent matchup against Lucian, aside from the fact that Lucian can kind of dash in on you, which is what he's kind of doing. As Nocturne comes in for a gank. Now, for some reason, Nocturne decides to ignore the Lucian and just go for the Sona. This leaves me with no assist at all because I was focusing the Lucian. Now, my logic here was let's go for the ADC, who's the more valuable target, right? You kill the ADC, he misses farm, and he's gonna be set behind. But I can see the Nocturne's logic, which is let's just go for the low HP target and let's just kill someone, right? both logics kind of make sense, so I don't really blame him there, but as a result, I don't actually get any assists, although of course getting Sona out of the lane is always just going to be a good thing in general. So next up, we are going to just get back to lane and with our Gluttonous Grease, try to see what we can do about the situation. So back to the kind of kiting thing, a lot of actions happening, so I'm kind of getting cut off in my conversation about kiting. So everybody on the team can somewhat be kited except for Lissandra, right? So Set obviously is the most overtly easy to kite person. Now Lilia does have a lot of movement speed, however, Lilia is kind of soft countered by Ashe in the sense that when she gets the movement speed and runs at you, the moment you get an auto on her and you proc the slow, you're going to be able to kind of kite her out, and she's not really going to be able to reach you for the most part. Unless she reaches you at the start and sleeps you, but otherwise when she chases you, you can kite her. So now also pretty easy to kite. So 3 pretty easy to kite champions in my opinion. Now, of course, Lissandra basically is impossible to kite. As we're trying to conduct a dive onto the Sona, she runs into the fruit. I'm trying my best to kill her. We just get the kill and cleanse out of it. Lux does die for it though, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. Not really the best trade in the world, but it kind of is what it is. Right, so of course Lissandra is not kiteable just due to the fact that she can dash in onto you using her E. Of course, if she doesn't have E, she's not that hard to kite. And Lucian is kind of like a little bit of a kind of question mark, right? Because on one hand, he does have a dash, right? But if he uses his dash, he's actually kind of easy to slow down and just run down or run away from, right? Although this Lucian has Phase Rush and Ghost, so I'm not sure if I can say that for this Lucian, but I'm just kind of talking about Lucian in general. Here Lux comes in from a very aggressive angle, doesn't really hit anything, and just gets kind of stunned by the Sona auto. And yeah, here Lilia is coming in with the E there to try to attempt to hit us under tower. Doesn't really hit though. So here Lucian ends up going missing. Lux does ping it. Lucian is actually still in the lane. We're 1-0 and 2, doing pretty well. We're about a kill's goal in front of Lucian, who did take a death just now. So we're doing pretty fine at the moment here. We do have ult for some time now, and we haven't actually used it at all. So we're kind of just waiting for the opportunity to kind of ult someone and attempt to get a kill or something like that. So here, Sona was paying attention there, dodges the Lux snare. Dragon and Herald are now spawning, they're both alive. We push in the lane and then we rotate over the Dragon to help our team out. Now we don't see Lilia here. Sona launches her ult into the pit. A little bit of a waste considering there's literally no follow-up whatsoever. Now Sona's just getting destroyed by my team. Lissandra is now finding herself in a spot of bother here. A little bit of trouble now. I want to ult her here, but yeah, there we go. So we finally get the ult off her. Now the issue of why I did not ult her is because I did not see her use her flash or her E yet. So I'm thinking that there's a high chance that she escapes. And I kind of want to wait for her to use her mobility tools before I ult her. And by the time that happened, she was kind of 1 HP already. So I was basically able to just ult her right into the face. And she takes a huge amount of damage. And then she just dies from it. So in the meanwhile, Lucian trying his best to pick up some plates. The correct play to do, definitely. Now, huge flash by the Lux. However, we don't quite have the damage to dispatch the Lucian, right? So nice play by Lux, but at the end of the day, ends up being a flash for a flash trade. Of course, Lucian not having flashes is a big deal, so that doesn't matter. Now, in the meanwhile, here we have Sona once again getting caught by the Lux. She's 1 HP as well now, and she's sticking around under tower apparently. She's trying to bat under tower. Lux trying to catch her out again. Lux now tanking tower. We try to position forward aggressively to see if we can kind of get the kill onto her, but it's not happening. Instead, we're going to settle for some tower plates, right? We're just pelting this tower now. Lilia obviously is coming. I'm really greedy here getting that last tower plate. Lucian is coming. Lilia apparently should be somewhere in the river, considering she just tossed her E down at us. But she doesn't appear to be trying to gank, because you can see now we have a vision in the bush. And now we're just going to try to get this tower. Now Lilia is coming. We don't want to overgreed for the tower. Ziggs is closely behind, so we might be able to get a fight off here. Ziggs ulti comes in. Ziggs probably can just destroy the tower with his bomb, so no big deal there. And now we're just kind of rotating over. We've already taken our tower. Mid lane tower is already taken, so it's basically only top lane tower left. But the rotation all the way to top is pretty far of a distance, and we might need to go back and defend bot, depending on the situation. Right, so here, Nocturne takes the Hex Gate. Not that amazing. Now, normally, I personally feel jungler should not be taking the Hex Gate because that gives the information to the enemy team of where the jungler is on the map, which, as the jungler, you always want to stay hidden, so you should let the laners take it. So here, Nocturne goes in, and I hit the ulti onto Lilia to help him finish off the kill, so Lilia cannot escape. And we pick up another assist, now going to 3-0-3. Now, honestly, at this point, the game is getting pretty stompy. My team has a 10k goal lead, and enemy team only has 2 kills. Now, right now, going in onto the enemy team who's very, very badly overextended. Set dies in mid-air without even being able to use his W. The root comes in from Lissandra, but rooting me does not stop me from auto-attacking you, so it doesn't actually help her all that much at all. We just auto-attack her down even through the root, which, of course, once again, does not prevent me from auto-attacking, so we're just going to destroy her. And, yeah, basically the entire enemy team is... No one is doing well on the entire enemy team here, so enemy team in dire straits. We're going to push down tier 1, we're going to push down tier 2. We're now maybe going for tier 3, but the entire enemy team has spawned. But honestly, we're so far ahead at this point that it doesn't really even matter. Sandra goes in, ults herself, has no choice but to ult herself. Yeah, we're just gonna blast her. She dies again. She's only worth 125 gold at this point. Sona takes a bunch of damage as well. Now, Lilia is doing the only smart thing, which is to split push the opposite lane from where we're at, right? I mean, obviously, they're not gonna win a team fight against us. So Lilia split pushing here is very, very intelligent of a play. This allows her to potentially get the tower and get the bounty, but of course my team is now resetting to kind of stop her, so she's not gonna be able to get it. Now, Sona's 1 HP. I could try to snipe her with the ulti, but I'm not gonna do that. Now, Set W doesn't even do any damage. We're gonna get the ulti onto Set. Ziggs finishes off the kill with the bouncing bomb. Flash forward from the Lilia. Now here I'm just protecting the Ziggs. Lilia wants to come in and kill him, but instead we're gonna try to run down the Lilia. Lilia 1 HP. We're gonna flash forward, kill the Lilia. I hope. No, we don't kill the Lilia. Now, Sona is on top of us. Sona doesn't do any damage. We're gonna run down the Sona. Come on, we can kill someone here, right? Sona 1 HP as well. We don't kill the Sona. Now, Lissandra's behind us. Lissandra is nearsighted by Nocturne. We're gonna get 1 auto off just to get the assist, but we don't want to get anywhere close to her. If not, we're gonna get bursted down. In the meantime, we're gonna recall, and honestly, I can't believe 2 things. Number 1, how did we not kill anybody there? And number 2, how did we not die there? So yeah, you know, kind of balances out, right? I think we should have gotten the kills, but I think we probably should have died as well. The fact that neither happened, you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with not killing people and not dying as well. The fact that I didn't die, I think it's a minor miracle. Now, the whole enemy team is now on the top side, except for Lilia, who's doing the blue buff. Now, Nocturne is doing the dragon, which I don't need. He definitely doesn't need my help. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna pick up farm in the form of jungle camps and in the form of minions. We want to be pushing in all of these lanes and trying to get our team into a winning position, not wasting time with anything else. Here we're just gonna keep on pushing in. And we can see Sona here, Lissandra is there. We're going to remove this control ward here. Trying to get vision inside the enemy jungle and start controlling the space. Of course, checking for enemies. We can see Lucian there. He's going for that top lane wave, which honestly, if we really wanted to, we could go there and put a stop to him. Multiple enemies now in the mid lane. Ziggs bombs the top lane wave just for a little bit. Wave clear. Lucian now farming the top lane wave. Honestly, we probably ought to be grouping up and pushing down a lane, any lane, even mid lane would be good. Nocturne going in with the ulti, gets an assassination onto the Sona. We're not just running everybody down. We still have the ult up and available. We could ult someone here if we wanted to, but it's a little bit iffy because they're kind of under tower. Look at the range from myself and Ziggs, just forcing Lucian's flash with the Ashe slow onto him. Now we're just gonna force down mid lane at this point. Honestly, we really just need to force a lane so that the enemy team is forced to respond, and as a result, they would be forced to fight here. Let's look at this, like, Set, yeah, he's not tanky at all. He's 0 and 7, he's only worth 125 gold. So this is basically the main game plan, right? We just want to force the enemy team to come to us, fight them, kill them, and end the game. 704 at this time in terms of KDA. Now it's a pretty simple matter. We just get Baron here, and then we can try to push down and end the game, right? We might even be able to end the game on the Baron push, right? Because even the Nexus Shield may not be enough to save them. We get the Baron, I'm not gonna flash the wall because I think my flash is more valuable than flashing over for a kill on a 1 and 6 Lissandra. I mean, at this point, no one on the enemy team is doing well. The person with the least deaths is actually Lucian. So, Lucian's probably the most valuable member on their team right now, considering that he's worth the most gold. Everyone else is just kind of hardcore feeding. The kill score is 22-3 at the moment, and we have like a 15k gold lead. And we're not even gonna let them get an objective bounty here. I'm just gonna clear up this mini wave so this mini wave doesn't actually get the bounty on the bottom lane. Honestly, with the Baron minions, I don't think it was very likely anyway. Lucian dashing in onto Lux trying to get her. But Ziggs picks up the top lane tower and is going to mid to help out the Lux. Bombs the ulties the minion wave to just get go a little bit faster. Now here, in the meantime, while this is all happening, I'm just going to be split pushing. Ziggs in a little bit of trouble here. Ends up going down eventually. Now this is what we don't want to happen, which is we don't want to be all going on our own and just dying to the enemy team, right? This is not what we want. We're giving away shutdowns, and this is not what we need to end the game. Here, Lissandra going in on me. It was all a bait. She could never have killed me. Here, I still have Cleanse, Flash, and Ult. There's no way she kills me there. And Nocturne was nearby as well. So she ends up trying to go in for the play, ends up just dying. We're going to push in the last minion wave here. Set is now on the way here. He's not a threat at all. We're just blasting him as we're blasting the tower as well. Blast the Sona as well. Why not while we're at it? Here we cleanse, flash forward, go for more kills, and we can end the game at this point. So we're just going to push in the wave here and go ahead and end the game. So here we focus the Nexus. Set's walking up, so we're going to focus the Set, ult him, get another kill, and we end the game 9-0-7. Perfect no deaths kind of game here. And I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. So thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.